if the candlestick touches our point of interest, what do we do? Okay, so this is why I first want to handle that last part. So let's get started. Okay, first set up this thing. Alright, so let me first play this price right here. So yeah, so let's imagine we have a chart like this on a normal trading day. What do we do? Remember, what we start with is first marking out the structure and knowing the direction of the chart. So right now we can see the price is actually in a downward trend. So let's mark out our structures. First we start by the lowest point of the swing, which is right here. So that's our lowest point of the swing, of which if price slips, then that's our where we get our break of structure. And then this point here that you can see right below here, remember what I told you about inducement, it's the last pullback of the swing. Remember, this one right here is our lowest swing point, so that means this point right here is the pullback, okay, because it's the last. I mean, what makes it the inducement, it's because it's the last point that pulled back before the swing low, you understand? So what do? We mark it out, so this would be our inducement point that price has to sweep before breaking out our structure. So we mark this point just right there. Our next, now we look for our valid order block. As you can see around this point, what we have is an order flow, okay, because there's no actually a valid order block, we have only a valid order flow, which is around this point here. So what we are going to do, we mark out that whole candle, you understand? Don't worry about the order flow part, I'll teach you how to mark out order flows a bit later on, okay? So this would be our order flow. It will take up all these candles, okay, right there. All right, so as you can see, price did not respect our order flow point, and then what happened, price broke the structure to the upside. So this is where price reacted to, was our highest point of the point, so we mark this one out. So this one becomes our break of structure to the upside. So what do we do now? We look for the inducement that caused that break of structure, so definitely that will become our next chalk. So right now we have to assume that price has already shifted to bullish, it's no longer bearish. So at this point we no longer look for sells, we look for buys instead, okay? So at this point, remember what I told you, this is our high at the moment, this one here is our high. So what do? What we're going to do, remember what I told you, we look for the lowest swing of the movement, and the lowest swing of this high, it's right here. So this should be our inducement point right here, okay? So we mark it out very well, very nicely. That's a nice tool dog, so it's our inducement point, remember. So this one right out is our inducement point, then we mark it out very nicely like this. So what we are going to wait for right now, so what we need right now is we need price to take out that inducement, then we can see how, then we wait then we look for our entries on this mode. So this is what we do. Let's play the price forward and see what goes on. We wait and we see. Let's be patient. Patience. Alright, so let's increase the speed a little bit. So remember, this is our high. So price just broke our high right here. Remember, if it's better to miss the trade than to enter a wrong trade. Okay, so what does this mean? This means we shift our inducement from here to this part right here. So right now we can see this is the valid pullback that took place, which is exactly at this point. Understand? So remember, we don't rush into these things, we remain patient. Okay, the break of structure, then our inducement point is right there. So we play the price forward and see what goes on. So let's wait patiently. Price is not yet. Alright, so as you can see, price swept out our inducement very well. So what happens now? Look for our entry point at the point. Okay, so this is what happens. Let me see. So at this point, this is our valid order block that we should be using to enter this trade. It's right here, down there. So as you can see, price did tap on our order block, but it didn't go through it. But now this is where we get our confirmation from. Is the next candle. Okay, if the candle engulfs the other candle, the previous candle, that continues to confirm our entry, and then with this last green candle confirms our entry more. So this is where we take our buy setup from here. Right there. Let me look for the buy. Where's the long position? It's right here. So at this point, this is where we target our entry. Then our stop loss is around 50% of that point. So after that, then our target point is going to be the previous high, which is right there. Okay, so at this moment, I guess we can play the price forward. So it's a risk over 1 is to risk to 3, so it's not that bad after all. So it pays for the patience. So let's play the price forward and see where we can take us. I guess you can see why patience is so important. So you see how price gave us a very nice take profit, was hit successfully from there. You understand? So what happens now? We have another break of structure. Okay, right here. So this is another break of structure. So remember, right now we are already in an uptrend. That's why I told you we no longer look for sell positions. And the reason why this order block was valid, because you can see right here it was having a very nice fair value gap right here. I guess you can see that, right? So that's what confirmed our what our order block. Okay, and the fact that we had a very nice beautiful inducement seated around here confirmed this price to be a very nice point. Okay, and I know you're going to ask me why we didn't wait for like price to enter deep into the order block. The reason is because we already got our confirmation from right here. You see the pointed third candle that was green, and then there's the second candle after the after the candle touched the order block. You see where next candle after it was bearish and it was able to engulf it. So that means it was a clear confirmation for the entry for us to go bullish. Okay, so we move on to the next setup. Remember, at this point we don't take any sales, we are only taking buy setups. So right now you see this is the highest point of the setup right here. As you can see, this point here. So what do we do at this point? We are going to mark up our inducement. So at this point, this price has a very short inducement, which is right here. Remember that last point of the pullback is always the inducement point, so we shall mark right here as the inducement point. Okay, Remember, that's the point where price moved down, like it pulled back before the high was created. Okay, so that's why we take up that point. Okay, let's play the price and see how it goes. So price continues to go higher, but that still remains our engagement point. So remember, we cannot take this one right here, this candle right here, you see, it to be considered as engagement, because these ones are one candle. Okay, these two candles are inside this green candle, the one that you can see right here. Okay, I guess you can see this candle here. Let me mark it for you very well so that you can see. Remember what I told you about inside back candles, so you can see these candles right here. Those two candles are actually what? Are one candle, the green one and then the red one. Okay, so at that point we cannot consider that one as a recent pullback to consider it as an inducement point. So at this point, this one still remains our inducement point. Okay, so wait for price to first sweep out that point, then they enter the trade. Okay, so let's first mark out our order block also. So at this point we can actually delete this one out now, it is no longer useful. Okay, so where would our order block be? Remember, we start marking it from the lowest point of the swing, which would be right here. This is our lowest point. Okay, so right now all these ones have been swept, so we don't have a valid order block down here. The only valid order block that we are having is this one right here, where the impulsive move took place. So this is the valid order block that we have. As a matter of fact, we will check this one as an whole order flow up to right here. This would be okay. Okay, but to refine it more, we would also consider this one to be a valid order block after we see the reactions that happen when price reaches around this point, you understand, around that candle there. So that one we also consider that one. So let's spread the price ahead and see how it moves. Remember, our adjustment point is still here, so let's see. Alright, so we wait. Alright, so price has already swept our inducement point, but according, right, so as you can see, price has already touched our order block. So what we're going to do now, we wait and see what confirms our entry right now. So we'll have to wait for the case candle. Let us touch our block, wait for either an engulfing candle, or we wait for other bullish patterns to enter the trade. So let's play the price and see. Wait. So price goes below our order block, but we still don't enter. We wait for other bullish patterns to enter the trade. Right. This is the part where we need a lot of patience. Okay, until price breaks up this point, we don't enter any trade. Alright, so now we wait for our entry. Price has already closed above, so this is where we take our entry from. We take our buy from right here. Sorry, where is this buy sector? So the long position is right here, so we'll take our buy from right there. Then our stop loss will be just below that point. Right, then remember, our TP will still be right above this point, so it's still 1 to 3. So let's play the price. Let's nutrition, and then I've already set our take profit, so we wait patiently. right? So price has successfully hit our take profit. Okay, so let's get ready. So I'm going to give you another lesson about the single candle order block, so that we see how to get more confirmations, and then more about how to enter when price taps into our order block. Because most of the time when price touches into our order block, most of you first have to wait for some patterns. Okay, so I'll make more videos about that part, and then we can see how to handle it. And then one thing, I wanted us to first do a live session like within the week. I don't know what day you are going to be free, but just let me know so that we first do some 1 or 2 live sessions. I think it won't be that bad. Okay, mostly we shall be starting the live sessions. I feel it's better most of the times when you start it at around 9. At that point, most of the time the network it doesn't disturb. At least the network is a bit strong. Then that way you can get to ask any questions about where you are missing out and where you're not understanding, so that we clarify most of the things that I am confident that you'll be able to answer these things and be able to achieve success in this trading game. Okay, so peace out. Okay.